Good morning, KELOLAND. It's 10 minutes ahead of the hour. We'll get to today's top stories in just a moment. But first, let's send it over to meteorologist Scott Munt for a check on your morning forecast. A beautiful start to the day across KELOLAND, Scott.
Oh, that it is. Mostly clear skies and comfortable, cool temperatures. We do have a couple of areas that are in the 40s for this morning. We'll take a couple of stops here across KELOLAND. We have numbers in the low to middle 50s here across southeastern South Dakota. And in northwestern Iowa, we have 48 coming in Sheldon, 51 in Slayton. We have 55 degrees in Pipestones, 50 in Brookings, 52 in Watertown. Aberdeen coming in at 49. We have 48 in Frederick, 48 in Eureka. Temperatures in central and western South Dakota are in the low to middle 50s. And we have light winds, clear skies overhead. As we do go through the day today, we'll go with mostly sunny conditions. Temperatures probably a couple of degrees warmer than what we had yesterday. We'll bring many locations into the 80s for afternoon highs. More details on your forecast with Brian coming up.
Thank you, Scott. A daughter is getting answers after her mother was murdered 50 years ago in Rapid City. Francine Burgeon was a little over a year old when her mother, Faye Johnson, was shot and killed. 5 decades later, the Pennington County Sheriff's Office found the case file with a number of Faye's belongings.
I just would like to read, if she has anything written down, I would love to read what she said or what she's doing, or, I would love to have a journal that she did actually write.
It's just stuff that every single one of us.
In a few weeks, Francine will receive her mother's belongings shipped to her in Arizona. New this morning, a Sioux Falls man was arrested after a pursuit near T. The Lincoln County Sheriff's Office says deputies tried to stop a car just before 2 o'clock this morning. The chase went through T and into central Lincoln County. The car then lost control and crashed. The 18-year-old driver suffered minor injuries. He faces a list of charges, including reckless driving and speeding.
Authorities in Lincoln County are sending out a reminder to drivers following a crash east of Harrisburg. The sheriff's office says it happened just after 1 p.m. During the investigation, deputies learned that a commercial vehicle failed to stop at a stop sign and hit an SUV. The driver of the SUV suffered minor injuries. The driver of the commercial vehicle was cited for failure to stop at a stop sign and driving without a commercial license. Officials add that deputies have been handling more crashes. They ask drivers to follow speed limits, stop at stop signs, and watch traffic ahead of you. Applications for water rights increased in 2021, but state officials aren't concerned with groundwater levels. The state's water rights permit administrator says drought and high crop prices often lead to more water applications. He says state laws passed in the 1970s help make sure the state doesn't overuse its aquifer.
In a lot of these western states, they're already behind the curve because they're using more water than what's going into their aquifers right now. And to this point in South Dakota, we haven't gotten there. And the idea is that we don't get there because we're using that observation well data and doing a water balance and making sure that we're not ever appropriating more water out than what the estimated average annual recharge is to it.
And a KELOLAND.com original, digital reporter Eric Mayer looks at the state's well monitoring program and how water rights are handled. South Dakota's 4 biggest fairs are hoping for big crowds after getting through what appears to be the worst of the pandemic. The manager of the Sioux Empire Fair believes there is a chance fewer out-of-town people will drive to the fair because they can't afford to fill up their tank. However, he says he's optimistic because gas prices have been dropping.
Would I have thought that 2 months ago with the gas prices and people, thinking it might hit $6 a gallon or more? Probably not. But as they're coming down, and as we get closer, we hope to have a really good show.
Wick says he's heard from other fair managers who report good attendance despite the higher gas prices. The Sioux Empire Fair begins next Friday, August 5th.
A $1.1 billion lottery prize will be on the line tonight as numbers are drawn for the Mega Millions game. The giant jackpot is the second largest Mega Millions prize and the result of 29 consecutive drawings without anyone matching all the numbers of the game. The $1.1 billion prize is for players who get their winnings through an annuity paid annually over 29 years. Nearly all winners take the cash option, which for tonight's drawing is an estimated $650 million. Keep in mind that the odds of winning the Mega Millions jackpot are a staggering 1 in 303 million.
Last night, a young group of singers performed at O'Gorman High School, all for a good cause. The group is called Fine Arts for Friedrich's Ataxia. They put on a cabaret performance to raise money and awareness for FA, a degenerative neuromuscular disease. 21-year-old Raina Brentro has FA and is helping with the production.
I was lucky enough to be involved in musical theater growing up, and that was kind of my favorite thing for years and years and years.
There will be another performance tonight at O'Gorman at 7 p.m.
Each year, Miracle Treat Day benefits Children's Miracle Network. Locally, that support the Sanford Children's Hospital. It's a place brothers Jackson and Jaron Sheff are very familiar with.
Mine was a little bit battered. I don't know, since he's only had about 11 to 9 surgeries. I've had like 30 to 32, I think.
More than 24 Dairy Queens around the South Dakota and Minnesota area participated in this year's Miracle Treat Day. Funds raised will be used to purchase special equipment and provide assistance to families.
Chislick is taking over Freeman. The South Dakota Chislick Festival is this Saturday at the Prairie Arboretum. Last year, the event brought in about 8,000 to 10,000 people. Organizers say Chislick has a history of bringing people together.
Instead of having, like a family picnic or a block party, you got together and ate Chislick in this area. And so this is a unique way for us to celebrate that on just a much larger scale and bring people from all over in to enjoy that tradition with us.
The Chislick Festival runs from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. on Saturday. Admission is free.
The South Dakota high school football season is just around the corner as 9-man and 11B teams can begin practicing next Thursday, while the state's 3 largest classes begin practice August 8th. And with that, KELOLAND Media Group is hosting a high school football media day on Wednesday, August 3rd. The event will be held at the west side of the field house at Howard Wood Field and runs from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. It's open to any high school football teams that wish to attend. That's coming up very soon next week, so I bet it's going to be very hot, Brian.
Yep, it sure will be. As we look at the numbers this morning, though, not bad. 54 Sioux Falls this hour, 52 in Worthington, and 49 in Aberdeen. Yeah, that's cool enough, I would say. So today's forecast, we should recover into the 80s, pretty common. Dry skies for the vast majority of us. There might be a couple of cells down in Nebraska late this afternoon. Also, we mentioned this little bit of rain that could pop up around Chamberlain tomorrow morning. Maybe we put in there a couple of mentions of that on Saturday. This is all kind of the process of warming the atmosphere. And, of course, we do that. 95 in Chamberlain tomorrow afternoon. Sioux Falls in the upper 80s. Could we see a couple more widely scattered hits of rain tomorrow evening? It's possible, but it's kind of all bathed in the heat here that's developing. And, of course, that's the big #1 story in the extended forecast. We're not alone, though. As much of the eastern half of the country is going to be pretty hot. And as we look at the numbers, today, 81 Sioux Falls, 90 in Phillip. And then, well, we warm to 87 in Sioux Falls tomorrow. 93 Sunday. There is a chance of a thunderstorm there, a little bit better chance as a cold front moves through. That'll trim us to 90 on Monday. That's a cold front. And then 100 degrees on Tuesday. And it looks like Tuesday is going to be a scorcher with 100 in Aberdeen. I'm hopeful maybe a couple thunderstorms could ride the bend here and come out of North Dakota, maybe the middle of next week. We'll keep an eye on that for northeast KELOLAND. You've got a shot at getting maybe slightly cooler. Here, it's going to be a harder time. A couple pairs of 100 or plus 100 degrees there on Tuesday and Wednesday. Rapid City also very hot in the 100s next week.
Thank you, Brian. That's our time. Thanks for watching.
Have a great weekend.